We have large players in the market who are very IP rich, like IBM or Microsoft. Microsoft with 16,000 pennies, IBM with 50,000 pennies. Yes. How can a smaller player with a unique model but an innovative mindset, how does a small company like that compete against?
See, the technology part, if you see the evolution of technology, when we talk about this computer-based technologies, internet-based technologies, mobile-based technologies, it evolved over a period of time, maybe about 3-4 decades now. When any technology is evolving, and the initial stages, you will have lot of introduction of new ideas and thoughts and base technology by itself, which is evolving. For example, if you take this mission, I'm sure there are about 300 patents gone into this small mission. But using this technology, I am bringing in new processes. That is going to be a very powerful patent. Because some of these technologies, patent, what I am talking about is now old. For example, it could have lapsed or whatever you may call it. But today, after these basics, adding value to the technology is your utility. How people use that effectively. So that need not necessarily be in volumes. That can be in value.
Okay.
So that I don't think the IP richness is something to do with the number of patents. It is something to do with the patent, the application of the technology for which the patent is filed.
Okay.
If, for example, take aspirin and take a drug which is, say for example, a cancer drug. So aspirin and cancer drug, in my opinion, economical value of that, the richness, when we talk about richness, it's economical value. Economical value of that, aspirin selling lot more than this cancer drug, but cancer drug is economically higher in value. So it doesn't, it's because it is priced that way.
Yes.
And this is, the aspirin is, if you can call it, that's a base technology, but this is the value-added technology. So same way, I think this purpose of behind the technology for which patent is given, that is the one deciding the richness. And that is one side. On the other side, I think all those companies, they are providers of the basic technology. I don't think they moving away from that and then providing some value-added technology-based services or a platform for consumers. If that is their intention, if that is their business model, they should have done that 10 years ago. Because this additional technology, in my opinion, if you are talking about bringing in one touch screen mobile phone, this is what a new technology that somebody is introducing. Is this required? With an existing technology, they could have created very powerful platform for consumers to do their day-to-day activities. They are getting there. You don't need this technology. That is required one. So that is where I think the richness of IT coming in, and then we don't see them in that space. Maybe their business model is completely different. They would like to go with one IP and then make sure that they produce volumes and then they make money.
That's true, that's true. And then those patents also, they upgrade at a very regular intervals and they keep it going.
Yeah, they keep it alive by adding few things on top of that. I think that's how it went on.
That's true. A little bit about your what you would recommend to the young people in the country for technology-oriented people in the country.
Yeah, I think again, of course, not necessarily in the technology. Generally, the country is lacking on enough entrepreneurial skills because I think it is more our culture, the conservative culture that we were into, and then the transformation, because majority of the population was illiterate. Today I think it's slowly going towards a literate economy. When it goes to literate economy from an illiterate economy, possibly the first generation would like to get into employment.
Yeah.
That's what they are all into. It is by nature. For example, if there is an organization which is giving me about 400,000, 500,000 right after my college, and also I am in the race. I'm with 40, 50 people in my class, and all of them are getting into some employment. I'll be forced to look into that model. But we have interacted with a lot of Hindustan in the recent period after we set up this business, because we call them, we walk them through our product, we take inputs from them, we take suggestions from them, because ultimately down the line they are going to be our consumers and customers. So there are a lot of entrepreneurial skills that we are experiencing. But unfortunately, that is not being channelized for the purpose. They are all going for an employment, and they want to work and then get that whatever salary in the initial period. So, right incubation models in this country, it is emerging, I guess. We are also trying to set up one by way of a minimum capital support to take care of the salary at least for 1 year. So let them come here and then come with some innovations, and possible they can create some wonders that is required for this country. But unlike Western countries, in India there are supports, but not in a big way. But again, it is unknown. It's number one, a lot of universities and a lot of institutions, they do that, but it's not even, I have never heard of one other than the fact that the Indian Institute of Science, they have got some incubation. I went there for a speech, so I could know that. Otherwise, I would not have noticed that. So it is more marketing and visibility. They should work closely with colleges, and why all I always used to question why all these students are going to a commercial organization for the projects. They should go to university, should also set up, okay, this is the lab, you come and do a project here. It's a set process, maybe that can be supported by a commercial organization. Because going to a commercial organization and doing a project, in my opinion, it is just theoretical. In 6 weeks time, what can they learn? The commercial organization is busy, everyone in the company is busy, what can they learn? It's impossible. It's not made for that purpose. So these things are very essential, but once the student understand, I'm sure, Hindustan is very sure, and if they understand there is such thing possible, they will definitely get attached to it, and then they will try to see whether I can be an entrepreneur. So,
just one last question, probably. How do you look at this manufacturing sectors versus the IT sector in India? There's a lot of emphasis, a lot of support for the IT sector. There's also a lot of visibility for the IT sector.
Yeah, it's basically, in terms of number of employment that the IT sector is providing, and the forex income or the GDP contribution to the GDP, all if you see, I think somewhere I read that the entire German jewel industry, whatever unknown in the normal public level, it is unknown industry. In the sense, okay, as we know jewelry market, but the German jewel as an industry, I think their contribution is little more than the IT contribution, I guess. That's what somewhere I read. But whatever, maybe little more or less, irrespective of that, the manufacturing sector and agricultural sector and service sector, if you see these three sectors, I think manufacturing and agri contributes a lot more to GDP, but it is again unsung hero kind of thing. It's there. For example, take a cement industry or textile industry or iron. There are so many industries. The demand, supply demand, if you see, it's increasing nowadays. I think the demand is increasing even on the manufacturing side. For example, construction of a house, it's all the double price, triple price. So I think it's a more visibility is there in the technology sector, and that is basically because of the technology sector is spending more.
Okay.
Where there is a spend, you will see the visibility. For example, if you wear expensive jewelry, people will see that. It's very common, and also it is very prominent in the cities.
Okay. Yes, that is true.
It's not, you cannot see in a tier 3 place some technology company going and then saying, they are talking about the cost effectiveness. It's a business model rather than it's evolved in that place. For example, if you say in a place called Shankagiri there is a cement factory, because that's where the raw material is. So that's where you get the right material to manufacture. So manufacturing, the challenges, I think it has got different challenges. A small scale industry, can they survive in this country today? Very difficult, because a lot of consolidation and automation and expensive machineries and labor turnover, and after this, if an industry has to survive, they should really be unique in what they are delivering, or there should not be any other competition available in that segment. So that is when they can be successful. Or there has to be a personal touch. That if it is, for example, a jewelry manufacturer, there's a personal touch. Probably you can still survive. So I think manufacturing industry has got tremendous upside opportunities, but its scale matters. You cannot go and manufacture 10 tons of cement and be successful. You have to be in thousands of tons, only then you can be successful.
Right. In your experience with innovation, how has that changed the culture of your company, or has there been a visible change in the organization because of your innovations and your patents?
Yeah, I think internally also it took some time for us to popularize this even within an organization. At least about 4 or 5 rounds of off-site meets we had to do, and then tell people that this is how our technology can change the way how a consumer is doing certain activities. And over that period of time, I would say it took about 2 years for us to popularize even that smile within the organization. But one thing what we learned was you cannot pressurize anything. You cannot go and tell them you have to use this. They should understand that this is the benefit. For example, we do campaigns. Whenever we are launching a product, first we do internal campaign. 1 week we display some benefits of doing that, and then we have quiz programs. We have got some knowledge. The business analysts, they go and talk to people and they give demo to all of them. And before we launch the product, we will tell our employees here, we have about 120 people here in this office. They all go to that site and then share their thoughts, ideas. So that participation, then they start enjoying, okay, this is something good for us and good for our friends. Once they take that, once they experience it, then they will become our ambassadors. So it was difficult challenge in the initial stages. Now, for example, when you walk into our office, you have to use our set message barcode to get into our office. So now people are getting used to it. So that's how we are also popularizing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.